You can just number them. I'm gonna go around and ask you guys, see what you got. And we kind of need to do this a little bit quickly because I need to like turn the page. So some of you will be writing everything down slowly, and then some of you will be bored and waiting. So this is the non-calculator part. If you feel comfortable with all these, then you don't have to worry about them. If not, then I guess you have to worry. It'll be the first 14, no calculator.
Wait, so if we feel confident in them, we don't have to do them?
Well, no, I'm saying you don't have to worry about it on the test tomorrow. Like if you did everything perfectly without needing any help from me today, then you don't have to worry about studying it or anything. But if there's something you didn't know, you might want to try to get in your brain before tomorrow. Okay. Anybody want to start? All right, Moses.
So, negative 3 times 12 equals negative 36.
Right. When multiplying and dividing, one negative makes a negative. Two negatives makes it positive. That's multiplying and dividing. Adding and subtracting, totally different rules. Let's go. All right, let's go. We'll go this one. I can't keep track of it. Jackson, what's number 2 turn into?
4.
Yeah, it turns into negative 4 plus 8, right? If you're not good at these, okay, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could like draw out the number line, go to negative 4, and then like count 8 over, like in a positive direction. Sometimes it's enough if you just kind of picture it in your head, starting at negative 4, and then if I move 8 this way, where am I going to end up at? Positive 4. Huh?
It's easier to just do. Like the number line is too much work.
Well, it's not easy for everybody. So if you need extra help, that's how you could do it.
I think anyone who struggles with basic addition should be algebra.
Well, that's not how it works. All right, everybody has to do it. So James, how about number 3? What should we do?
You would do 3 minus 4, or negative 3 minus 4, which would get you 7, and then you would add that.
Well, what would this be though?
That would be negative 7.
Okay.
And then you'd add it to 7 to get 0. And then you would do minus negative 5, which would be 5.
So it is.
5.
Okay, Bo. Actually, I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna start. If you guys haven't done 4 or 5, go ahead and do it. I'm gonna start putting a couple more in.
This is what's going to be on our test.
Gotta be similar, yeah. None of these are actual questions from the test. They just look like them.
What are we supposed to do in number 6?
Solve it, simplify it. What's it equal?
Oh, I thought that was degrees.
That's a 0. Exponent 0. All right, Bo, is number 4 gonna come out positive or negative?
Negative.
Yeah. If I was doing this one, I would do 6 times 7 first, just because it seems easier to me. 6 times 7 is 42 times 2. So it's, yeah, negative 84. You might have to write it down. Well, okay, let's say you don't remember what 6 times 7 is, though. How would you figure it out? Write what down? You could add 7 6s together. This is like in case of emergency, I guess. You could add 7 6s together and figure it out. It's gonna be hard, I guess. Anyways, so knowing your times table is kind of important for this part. And even though you can use a calculator later on, knowing your times tables is gonna help a lot in this class. Makes it easy. It'll make your life easier. Bo, what's number 5?
Well, you do negative 4 times negative 4.
Oh, I said Bo. Sorry, Hank.
For 6,
5.
just be negative 4 times negative 4, so it'd be 16.
Yep. Okay, Brian, anything to the 0 power equals 1. I'm expecting a lot of people to get that wrong tomorrow, even though it's could be very easy. Okay, Manny, should number 7 be positive or negative?
Negative. Positive.
Positive, negative divided by negative. So after you figure out it's positive, then you don't have to worry about that part anymore. Then you go back and do this part. Might be hard to, you just kind of have to play with some different numbers and figure this out. What's 15 times 2? 30. How many 30s go into 120? 4. So there's 2 4s. It's going to be 8 is going to be the answer. But you just have to kind of mess with it and figure out.
It'd be easier if you do it times 10 and then count down what you got.
Okay, that could be, yeah, it could work too. It's not going to be the exact same question though, so it might not necessarily help. All right, number 8. This one might get us in trouble. I'll move in a second. You guys get number 9 yet? Try without. Okay, let's talk about 8 and 9 for now. And then 9 might, this one might be the hardest on the first page just because adding fraction, I guess people have trouble. Anyway, Lauren, what do you think about number 8?
Isn't those two lines make anything that's negative in there positive?
Yep.
Okay, then 17 minus 5.
17 minus 5.
Equals 12.
Okay, and I give you a tricky one. Do you know what we do first?
You make the fraction, the bottom number the same.
Bottom number the same, common denominator. So what do 6 and 10 both go into?
40.
30. Now if you said 60, that would have been right, but if you use 60, you'd have to reduce more over here. The smallest thing they both go into is 30. So those both need 5s and those both need 30s. Because that'll change that to a 30, that will be a 30. So we have negative 25 30s plus 9 30s. Okay, notice I put the negative on the top. Because the bottom isn't really doing anything, right? We're kind of done with the denominator. It's going to be bad. But the top is where it's happening. What's negative 25 plus 9? Negative 16. Negative 16. One way you can do it is think, okay, negative 25 is over here, so if you plus 9, it's going to come this way, right? So it's like negative 25, negative 24, negative 23, negative 20, you kind of count down 9 spots. I don't know. Is that the answer? What do we do? They're both divisible by 2. And you should probably look at this number to make sure these aren't divisible by anything that's the same. And they're not. So that is it. Alright. So if you did not get that one on your own, that would be one you would need to study, right? Like, to remind yourself how did we do it, maybe try some other examples from the book or something, maybe the odds in the book, or probably find an internet site that teaches you. Okay, anyway. Well, go ahead and do 10, 11 if you haven't. 11's pretty short. I'll write 12 and 13 then. See if we can get 14 in here. 12. It's kind of an order of operations problem. That's not gonna work. Let's make that smaller. Uh-oh. Yeah, 14 looks weird. You guys tell what's going on? Negative. It's negative, absolute value, negative, absolute value, negative 8.
So is the 8 in the absolute value? Or
These two would go together, right? And then these two would have to go together. Whoops. Alright, Sophia, how do we do number 10?
Times across.
Shh. Okay, you cross, cancel. Cause remember you always reduce fractions when you multiply and divide. So what do 12 and 9 both divide by? 3. So these will become 4 and 3. How about 7 and 14?
1, 12, 2.
They divide by 2, or 7, so it's 2 and 1. Sophia's gonna be positive or negative? Positive. And I think multiplying is easier because you just do top times top, 1 times 3, and bottom times bottom. And if you canceled everything outright, it shouldn't be able to reduce because it's like we already reduced it. If you didn't get it all right, I guess it could still reduce. Okay, number 11, Miranda.
Probably 12 times 3, 36.
Yeah, you don't make everything positive till the very end. Like if there was a minus in there, you don't turn it into a plus. But yeah, it's negative 12 times 3 is negative 36. But yeah, that becomes positive 36. Okay, Atticus, what should we do first on number 12? Yeah, yes. Inside the parentheses, and then divide, multiply, or tied. So you just go divide. He said divide, and then multiply. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So we got 5 minus 12 in here, which is
-7.
-7. So we got, from the parentheses, we've got -7. Atticus, what should we do next? What's this mean right here when it's right next to each other like that?
Multiply.
So does multiply or add come first? Multiply. So 3 times -7 is -21 plus 4. Order of addition doesn't matter. -17. Hopefully we got that. Out of all the homeworks we've done, order of operations was the worst. Well, it was pretty close to the exponent. There's only like 3 exponent problems on here. I don't think it'll kill you. Not counting the 0 power thing. Alright. Jesse, what should we do first on 13?
13, you should do 4 times -4.
Right. Multiply first. This one's actually easier than that last one. But yeah, that means multiply. I guess because there's no symbol in there, sometimes we forget to do it, but that's time. So it's 12 plus -16 minus 3.
12 plus -16 comes next.
Right. So just left to right. So it's
-4,
-4 minus 3.
-7.
Might double check your answers on this. Okay, well, 14 is basically you got 2 options. Is it 8 or is it -8?
Negative.
Why is it -8?
Because there's some negative on the outside.
This negative is unaffected. Well, this will be +8 in here. And then you add that negative on at the end. Whoops. Anyway, it's -8. Okay, that's page 1. So that means you can start using your calculators now. Okay, 15. This one might be a problem that some people will need to study. Kind of 2 problems in one. Find the length and midpoint Let's say 123. I'll say like between 123 and I don't know, 257. So I didn't put a negative on here. That should make it a little bit easier. It's not hard to do if you know how to do it, and we can use the calculator too, so that makes it helpful. But if you don't know how to do it, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it wrong. You're just guessing. Okay, Brianna, how do I find, do you remember how we found the length between those two? Let me make up an easier example. What's the length between 4 and 7? Now, like if we're going from, well, the picture would be like 4, 5, 6, 7. How far is it from 4 to 7? 1, 2, 3. Okay. The gap from 4 to 7 is 3. So basically, what are we doing there? Subtracting. So all you have to do is, you don't want to count this on the number line. All you have to do is subtract. Is it possible to get a negative answer on the length? Well, you might get something negative if you do this minus this, but you just need to make it positive. Absolute value. Make your answer positive. You could just do the big one minus the small one. So it's 134. If you put a negative, you will lose points. A couple probably. Okay, Avery, do you remember how to find the midpoint? Okay, Bo, you remember?
You average them,
Yes, and how do we average?
you add them, and then divide it by 2.
Add and divide, I should have changed colors. Add and divide by 2 is what he said, which is right. So you can do this on a calculator, but you guys remember the issue with this? If you put divide by 2 like that, it would be wrong. Does anybody know why it's wrong?
Because your calculator doesn't know.
Your calculator does order of operations, which would be that, which you don't want to do that first. You want to do this first. So if I was doing it, I would just plug this in my calculator, hit equals, and then hit divide by 2 equals. So I just do like 2 separate equals. Did you guys know, maybe you don't know this, if you got an answer in your calculator from last part, like this adds up to 380. Let's say we hit equals on the calculator and it says 380 in the bottom right. If you just plug in divide by 2 on your calculator, it automatically uses the last answer. You guys know that? So that'll save you a little bit of work. Anyway, it's 190. You should stop and think, does 190 make sense? Does that seem like it's in the middle of those two numbers? Yeah, somewhere in there. If you got something that was like 230 or something, well, that seems really close to that number, so that doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's go 1.5. Let's save the best for last here. Graph A, B, and C on a number line. Let's underline these. Graph A, B, and C on a number line. Yeah, it's okay. We'll leave that. Not going to be that big of a number line. Or does it need to be? Actually, the test draws a number line for you, so you don't have to do that part. Yes. Okay. I'm not really worried about A or B, probably, but B, 1.5 is exactly halfway between 1 and 2. Okay, C, I'm guessing some people will get wrong. Few people. Okay, where are we at? Let's go. We kind of started there, didn't we? Well, I started on the second row. So let's go back around and then we'll come to case. So we are Brooke. Who wants this one? All right, Brooke. Where is negative 1 and 3/4 at?
It's, past the 1.5 negative, so it's a little bit before.
Yeah. Negative 1, so you go to negative 1, and then 3/4, so you go 3/4. 3/4 of a group is most of the group. So you're going most of the way to negative 2. So these are really close to each other. If you put it in the middle, or if you put it closer to negative 1, I will count it wrong. But it's like 1 of 4 points, so I'll probably let you take a point off, so it won't kill anybody. Might as well get it right though, if we can. What number are we on? I kind of stopped.
17.
This is 17. Okay. Here come everybody's favorites.
Love that.
Okay, the directions, we'll just say simplify. Simplify just means do as much as you can. Like we can't completely solve 17 because we don't know what A is, but we can simplify it. Oops, starting to do the odds. It's kind of a mess. Maybe I should start with this.
So then there's that negative. Yeah, it hasn't done this. It's free. The two. After you write it, the next one.
Okay, the best for last here. Oh wait, never mind, there's one more. Put 22 over here. This is kind of the exponent section. Some of these you can still use your calculator on, some of them you can't. Like those. I mean, I don't care if you're holding your calculator, it's just not going to help you very much. Let's go.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Negative
22, possibly the hardest question on the test.
You want us to write an exponential form?
Yes, sorry, that's a good point. Yeah, that goes for both of these. Leave it, just like we did on the homework when it's like that, just leave it in exponential form. Yeah, if you plugged in the calculator, that wouldn't be hard, but. We get out 40. So, okay, only 2 volleyball players in here, right, that are gonna be in. So that means girls are gonna have to take it on Monday. Abby, I'd recommend you take it tomorrow, but if you wanna take it on Monday, you can. So, I'll leave it up to you though, okay?
When do we take it on Monday?
Well, you can do it, if you do it during class, I might have you go to like an empty room or something. But do you guys have a study hall?
I don't.
Okay, you might, well, you probably have to take it during class, or, yeah, if you don't have a study hall, and you're in volleyball, so there's not, after school doesn't work. Sorry. Okay, keep leaving. Well, this is like your last leaving for a tournament thing, right? Okay, I think Abby, do you remember how we did 17, Abby?
3 times 4.
Yes. So it's a to the 12th. You guys remember that? I didn't put any of the harder ones on here because in about, I don't know, 7 chapters, we are going to see exponents again, and it'll kind of be hard again, but on that test there are harder versions, like kind of like we did on the worksheet thing. Okay, Leah, you could use a calculator on this one, but do you guys know what it would be without a calculator?
Which one?
Did you try this one, Leah? It's 9. Okay. This would have been 9. But there's a couple things wrong. That negative, is it being squared? No. So it's going to stay negative. Okay, 3 squared is 9, but what's 3 to the negative 2?
Flipped.
Yeah. Couldn't resist, could you? Yeah, Jonathan?
It's gonna be 1 over 9.
Yeah, 1 over 9. And the negative is in front is complete. So these two negatives mean very different things. This negative just means is the value like going this way or this way. This negative means flip on the exponent. So this negative is untouched. And like I said, you can use a calculator. It should work. Not going to count it wrong if you do. Okay, same thing on this one. But if we were doing order of operations case, what would we do first on this one?
Exponents.
Yeah. Your calculators can do order of operations. Some calculators you can only do, it'll only show you like one thing at a time. Like, I saw a couple in here. Luke's got one. So those calculators aren't great for order of operations problems, but you can still work it out. Yeah, exponents come first. You guys remember what 4 cubed was?
64.
Then multiplication comes second. And then addition is last. Okay. Owen. You guys remember what exponential form meant? I'm not sure where I'm going to write this. What'd you put, Owen, for?
7 to the 5th.
7 to the 5th, so don't solve it. Actually, I think that one on the test might be multiple. Maybe not. I might have lied there. Yeah, that one's multiple choice. Okay. So, it won't even give you the option of a gigantic number, really. 21. Devin? Or Davin? Davin, right?
Yes, sir. Well, it's negative, so it'd be a fraction,
Right?
and then, it's just 5, times 5 to the, 5 to the positive. Positive 5 times 5 times
5 times 5 times 5
5. Over 1.
on the bottom. Nope.
Wait, under 1.
It goes right now, it's like on the top. But it's gonna go to the bottom. So it's 125 on the bottom. Let's not let's not put any decimals on that. Some of your calculators probably spit out a decimal. Okay, this one, 22 is supposed to be exponential form. Luke, you got the tough one.
5 times 5 on the bottom, which is 25.
Okay. What do we do with the exponents in this case? We're not simplifying like this. We're doing,
Negative 2 times 2.
yes. So that'd be,
5 to negative 6.
and then what do we do with the 5 here?
Add it.
Add, so that would be,
Negative 2.
okay, and then what do we do here?
Subtract. For 0.
Yeah, is negative 2 minus negative 2. So it's like negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. If it's 5 to the 0, I mean, you could leave that, that'd be full credit. I doubt the one on the test is to the 0 power, I don't really know though. Or you could just put 1, it doesn't matter. I'm not done, not done. Do a couple more.
I did that except for I subtracted first. Instead, I did
You did this first?
I did 4 minus negative 2 first.
Yeah.
I still got the right answer.
Yeah.
Does that really matter? Because I got negative 6.
In this, well, in the case of the exponents, it doesn't matter, but normally, if it was just times 5 divided by 5, it wouldn't matter. Like, the exponents make it a little bit different. Okay, I do this one because, let's do like 12 plus 3 times 5, because I'm not sure, not 100% sure you guys will get this one right. Let's do 3 times 4 minus 5. Okay. Try that one. We'll stop. Yeah, we'll probably stop there, I guess. Everybody try it. Brian, did you do it?
Oh, there was extra ones.
Okay. Corbin, did you get an answer on this one?
Not yet. I messed up.
Okay, so if I was doing this by hand, what should I do first? 3 times 5 is 15, plus 12,
27.
27. Okay, you guys remember we're saving the division for last. And on the bottom it's 12 minus 5 is 7. Now what?
You can't divide two just stays like that.
That's it.
Would the next number be 3, 6, 7?
Let's see, it would be 3 and 6 sevenths. All right, everybody's gonna ace this tomorrow, right? Right, Hannah? If you do ace it tomorrow, your grade's gonna shoot up.